Hey guys, in this video, I'll be answering the question that interests many IELTS candidates. What do you do if there's nothing to say at the IELTS speaking test? The best way to deal with this situation is to minimize the chance of it happening. And to help you do that, I've prepared some tips for you that I find really useful. Tip number 1. Practice as many questions and topics as you can before the test date. Of course, you can get lucky and get questions that you have a lot of experience with, but it might also be the opposite, so you can't just sit and hope that you will get lucky. For instance, in Test 3 of Cambridge IELTS 15, there's such a question. Describe a famous business person that you know about. You should say who this person is, what kind of business this person is involved in, what you know about this business person, and explain what you think of this business person. I can't possibly answer this question without preparation because I'm not into the business world, so I'll need time to think and do some research. You should prepare for all kinds of questions, like who's your favorite actor, who's your favorite writer, who do you get along with in your family, or describe the happiest day of your life, and so on and on. For more information about question types and resources, follow the link in the description box. Tip number 2. Describe things in detail. Let's say you get a question, what did you do on your last birthday? And you didn't do much. There was no celebration, you just stayed at home all day, it was a boring day, so what do you say about such a birthday? But you can turn this information into an excellent answer if you talk about it enthusiastically and give a lot of detail. For example, my last birthday, which was January the 10th, was supposed to be an ordinary day because I hadn't planned any celebration or anything special to do. Nevertheless, it turned out to be an amazing day. From early morning, I received a lot of text messages and calls from my family and friends. My cousin even sent me a bunch of wonderful roses, which was a nice surprise. Since that day I wasn't working, I decided to rewatch my favorite movie and listen to some pleasant music. And that put me in a good mood. In the evening, I saw that my family had bought me a birthday cake. I was delighted. After all, what kind of birthday is it without a birthday cake? And although one might think it was a typical day, I felt really grateful for all the nice wishes from people who remembered to congratulate me and for my family to be around. So, all in all, it was a memorable day. Something along these lines. And to extend my answer, I could talk about what people wished me, what color was the cake, what I was wearing, and so on and on. Any detail would be fine. Tip number 3. Describe someone else's experiences as your own. Imagine you get a question, what did you do on your last birthday? But you don't even remember your last birthday, or it was just an ordinary and boring day for you. So there's nothing to say. But recently you've been to your friend's birthday party and you think it was amazing. And because it's fresh in your memory, there's a lot to say about. You remember a lot of detail you could just describe right now. So imagine it was your birthday party and talk about it as if it was your birthday party. For the examiner, it doesn't matter whether you're telling the truth or you're lying. What matters is how you speak.
I mean, like, maybe I talk a lot of something, but, at least it's better than not talking at all.
And tip number 4, and it's not so much of a tip as it is a warning. Don't make up answers at the test. I mean, don't make up new stories at the test because it never works. And that's because, when we make up answers, when we create new ideas, our brain needs time to think. And time is what we don't have at the test. So for example, if you get a question, what did you do on your last birthday? And you decide to make up a story about how you had a great party, which never happened. You will just start saying something, like you can say 1 or 2 sentences, and then you'll get a block because you will need time to think. And that will be the end of you, because when you make pauses, you will also get confused. You will think about grammar, vocabulary, and stuff like that. So I don't recommend it. Everyone I've seen trying to do this has failed, including me. That's why I never do that again. And I recommend to all my students and all test takers not to make up stories at the test.
You don't have time to think. Remember.
That said, you can of course make up your answer before the test day while you're preparing. So during the interview, during the speaking test, you will just need to remember the ideas that you have prepared previously. Mind that you should practice using all these tips before the test date. You can't hope to keep it all in mind and go and use it only during the speaking interview. You should do enough practice at home. Remember, it is the amount of practice that you have before the test date that will determine your success on the test day. If you wish to learn more about the IELTS test, for example, how IELTS speaking is assessed, or what tips and resources to use while you're practicing, follow the links in the description. If you have any other questions, you can write them in the comments section. I wish you good luck with your test. Goodbye for now.